Sorry. Call the meeting to order. Start with the Pledge of Allegiance. Calling of roll.
Councilman Thacker.
Present.
Councilwoman Leg.
Here.
Councilwoman Dean. Councilman Travis.
Present.
All right, two first names. Councilwoman Wilson.
Here.
Councilman Thompson.
Here.
Councilman Lowry.
All right, we will move to public comment. Anybody have any public comment? Hearing none, we'll move to communication from elected officials, other officials, or agencies of the county. Anybody have any? Okay, we will move to the first reading by summary reference of proposed ordinances and resolutions. Number one, ROC 2022-01, additional appropriation 2022-01, Health Department. Number two, ROC 2022-02, Resolution 2022-02, New Goshen Fire Protection District. We have any reports from committees? None. We will move to the resolution of ordinances other than appropriations. Number one, Resolution 2022-02, ROC 2022-02, New Goshen Fire Protection District.
Hello. Carol Holbert, representing New Goshen Fire Protection District. So we are back in front of the county council to request their approval through the resolution of creating a new debt service fund for the purchase of a new fire tanker. And I believe you have a copy of the resolution, and basically we come to you because you're our fiscal body, so we have to get your approval. This tanker is going to be a 2,000-gallon custom tanker that's built on a 2023 Freightliner chassis. It's being built as we speak. It is replacing a 1998 tanker, so it's much needed, and we are just seeking the council's approval to move forward with the debt service fund. We've done got all of our other ducks in the row, and looking for approval to get that pushed through, and then we will lay it out for objection and then move it forward to DLGF. So we decided to go the debt service fund route because we're wanting to get into set that up and use that as a tool as we move forward as a rotation, kind of like Sugar Creek and Honey Creek and some of the other ones do, so that at the end of the 6 years, we're ready to go for a new apparatus. So, and that seems to work out well for that. So that's what the resolution's about. I understand we don't take action tonight. I'll be back the next meeting. If anybody has any questions, I'm happy to entertain. If not, we'll see you in a week.
Thank you. Any questions from council?
Yeah, I just was wondering, it's replacing another tanker, and what will happen with that?
They will probably sell it. They may, sometimes they will use them as reserve units if they're still operational. I don't remember when we started this, because we started this project about a year ago. It takes a while, to get everything going. And I don't remember what they said, but I'll find out and we'll clarify next time. But typically what happens is if, they'll either sell them to other departments or if they're still operational, they'll hold them, in reserve. The other one that they're replacing had a smaller tank on it.
Oh, okay.
So we're going to another larger tank. Not a whole lot, but I believe it was an 1,800 gallon. We're going to a 2,000 gallon tank.
And if you would, when you bring that, would you get an estimated value of the,
One that they might
just-
sell?
yeah, thank you.
Sure will, yeah. And I think it's noted in the resolution, but just to let you know, the new one is $340,000 is what we're looking for to create the debt service fund. So, and we've already secured the financing through First Financial Bank, so we're working on that paperwork. And so, like I said, we're kind of wrapping it all up, and this is kind of the last step. And then, once you approve, or council approves, then we lay it out. If there's no objection, then we pass it forward to DLGF, and then budget time, the truck is actually being built now, probably will not be here till the end of the year. They estimate 355 days from the time that you sign the contract, and they signed that about a month ago. But also, with everything going on, with these vehicles and, not just the vehicles we drive, but these types of things too, there may be delay. So we follow that through the process as they're building, and we have various, times, that they can do inspections. So the fire chief and them will be following that up, so. But appreciate you listening to me, and we'll be back on next week for a vote. Thanks.
Thank you, Carol. Ordinances relating to appropriations. Additional appropriation 2022-01, ROC 2022-01, Health Department.
Good evening, Joni Wise, Administrator for the Vigo County Health Department, and we have put in for an additional appropriation request to bridge over from the CARES Act fund to fund our contract employees until the end of April 28th. I've included the monies that we're asking it to be used from are our reimbursement from the federal government for our administration fee from January 1st to June the 30th for all administration fees for the COVID-19 vaccine. As you can see, it's over $133,000, and we'll receive our second half of the year reimbursement in March. So Dr. Box issued a letter to all county fiscal body, so you should have received it, but I went ahead and included it in regards to how those funds can be used. And again, they can't be used to supplant a budget. She strongly suggests that they be used in our response to COVID-19 or for our children's immunizations that are lagging behind due to the pandemic. But fortunately for us, we had the immunization grant that's helped us stay on top of our children's vaccinations.
Any questions from council?
Can you, is that okay if I go ahead? Can you give us an update on, I get the reports, but just to clarify how things are going?
Sure.
I obviously see it with what I do, but.
Right,
so
and I
we can kinda
emailed
get-
all of you today the most current graphs and the slides from ISDH, but we saw our numbers reach the highest they ever have, which were over 14,000 cases, and then it's starting to slow down, but that slowdown still isn't even close to what our highest number was, which is in November of 2020. Comparatively, our deaths are much less than they were last year at this time, but we're still looking at the hospitalizations. That's the most critical part. Regional was on ICU diversion yesterday. They didn't have, they even had an emergency open heart that they didn't have a place for in ICU. Union was asking to borrow vents from them. So those numbers are still dangerously high with critically low staff. So we can look at the numbers and they're high, but I think the two more important indicators are death and the hospitalizations.
So is Union kind of, it sounds like they're pretty full too at this time?
Yes.
As well.
That is correct.
Thank you for all you're doing. I appreciate it.
You're
I know we've
welcome.
talked a
Everybody,
lot.
our county's welcome and they're worth it.
Yes, definitely.
Councilman Thacker?
yeah, I Just wanted to reiterate, I knew she'd steal the thunder. That's what she does. She's on
Yeah,
on
she looks
camera
like a
all the
thunder
time, too.
stealer.
Yeah. And, but I just wanted to thank you for the time and effort and the information that you provide to us.
You're welcome. We're very passionate about what we do in public health, and we appreciate the positive feedback.
Any other questions?
See you next Tuesday. Oh, Vicki has one. Councilman Weger?
I did want to mention to those who might not be aware, our township assessor, Don Pruitt, is in Union Hospital. He's in ICU and he's on a ventilator. He was said to be somewhat improved today, and I hope that that's continuing. So
Keep him in your prayers.
keep him in your thoughts if you would do that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I do want to point out that when the creation of the appropriation ordinance and working with Joni, we set that up in an account that's designated for COVID expenses, so it's easier to track. So,
Yep.
she'll be able to tell you in a heartbeat what has been spent. There you go.
All right, that is all that is on the agenda. Motion to adjourn?
Ooh,
It's a
5:11.
new record.
Who made the motion? I missed it.
Motion by Brenda, seconded by Todd.
Okay.
I had a meeting at 6. I didn't.
What you say you
All in favor?
Aye.
What you say you have here at 6?
Yeah, we'll start.